Today I've come to the Thetford forest to test out the Nikon 10-20 AF-P, and I'm hoping to get some mad wide-angle tree shots. The first thing I want to say about this lens is that it's AF-P. That basically means it's a pulse-stepping autofocus system, which I've been using for a couple of hours now, and it's really good, it's really quick. But you do have to be careful that your camera is actually compatible with it. Nikon do provide a chart of all the cameras that are compatible with it, and you'll probably find that your camera is compatible with it, but only with certain functions. So you do lose some functionality with this lens. There are no switches on the body for focus, on the body of the lens I mean, for focus or VR. I guess if you were to use it on a tripod or something, then maybe that might annoy you, because you're not supposed to use VR on a tripod, because it hunts for movement and then creates movement by doing that, apparently. I have to say though, I've been using this now, just walking around just recently. I managed to get a handheld shot at 1/5 of a second, and it came out perfectly sharp. So I'm really impressed with the VR. First thing I noticed was the size of it. I mean, it's absolutely tiny. I'm used to using the Sigma 10-20, and that is quite a big lens. I mean, that really is heavy, it's big, you know. This is about the size of the 18-55 kit lens. It's really compact, but again, it's probably because it hasn't got any switches on the side. You've literally just got the zoom ring and a focus ring at the front there. It's really lightweight, you don't even notice that you're holding it. It has got a filter thread and a petal style lens hood. Not that this is a comparison video at all, but the Sigma 10-20, as I said, it really is massive. And it's actually such a blessing to have such a small, compact lens. You know, walking around doing landscape photography, it does actually make a difference. I never thought I'd be bothered by weight and size of lenses. The other thing this has going for it is its macro capabilities. In terms of distortion, it's actually pretty good. This isn't the best place to show you distortion because the trees are actually slightly bent anyway, but it depends what angle you're shooting it at, as with most ultra-wide angle lenses, but it's very low distortion. So how about for video? Well, it makes a great vlogging setup. It's really lightweight, it's really wide, you get everything in, and that autofocus system is actually really good for video. Obviously as well, you get the VR, so you can get some fairly steady shots, and carrying the camera up on your arm like that all day, having a lack of weight on there really helps. And obviously you can just zoom in for a little less distortion, and there you go, that's 20mm. That's a pretty good vlogging setup. One thing I like to add is that I don't think I can hear the continuous autofocus on in the video. I've got an external Rode mic on, but it normally picks up the autofocus on any of my other lenses. But this, it's really, really quiet. One of the things you're doing when you're looking at a lens is you're deciding what compromises the designers had to make. Because basically all lenses have some kind of compromise. You have to always sacrifice from one area to give to another. And the first thing I could probably note is that it's really, really plasticky. It's entirely plastic, apart from the electronic connections, which are obviously metal. But that's not saying it's not well built, because it is well built, and you actually get a 5-year warranty if you buy it from new. You know, Nikon's a good brand, it's not going to make something that doesn't meet standards. The fact that it's mostly made of plastic doesn't bother me, actually, in the slightest. It is well built, but it does feel like a toy. It's very plasticky, very lightweight. But the lightweight, as I mentioned before, is a good thing. It really benefited me. But more importantly than build quality, they have really, really sacrificed functionality. Now, my D70-100, which I take stills with, and then I'm filming with the D50-300, they each have different losses in functionality. So the D70-100, it's got a manual focus switch on the body, so I thought, okay, I can turn automatic focus off, and I can just use manual, because it's got the full-time manual focus ring there. It turns out even when you turn the autofocus off on the body of the camera, it turns it off, kind of. When you half press the shutter button, which obviously you have to do in order to press it fully, it will focus. The lens will focus even when you've turned the focus off. It will focus once, but it won't continue to focus after that. It's really weird. So, but either way, it still focuses. It just does it once and doesn't try again. Doesn't hunt or anything. So it's not fully off, but it's kind of off. On a D5300, it has no manual focus switch on the body, so it's as good as impossible to manual focus with the lens. That said, in daylight I had no reason to use manual focus. The autofocus on this is really accurate and good, so that's all fine. But I thought of a scenario where this could be a problem, and that is astrophotography. So I went out one night and tried it on the D7100, turned the focus off. That's when I realised that you can actually manual focus. And the other thing, you get no indication of focus on the lens, so there's no little window there with your distances on. And that was an issue for astrophotography because in the dark the lens can't focus. It would focus on something, it would always let you take the picture, it would always focus, and then I don't know what it focused on, but maybe it just went to infinity, I don't know. But I wanted to manually put it to infinity for astrophotography. And I kind of wish they'd have made it a bit bigger or heavier just to have those switches in, just to give that control back. I feel like the lens is in control of me, not the other way around. In terms of image quality, yeah, you get some aberrations if you really try hard. If you backlight a tree branch or something, you're going to get some purple fringing there, but it is fixable in post-production. I didn't really see that as a problem. Otherwise, I think the image quality is really good. It's a sharp lens, gives great contrast and colours. Don't really have any complaints in that respect. You do get lens flare if you shoot straight into the sun, obviously, but you have to remember the price of this lens. It goes for anywhere really up to about £275. If you shop around enough, you can get it for the same price as a like new condition used Sigma 10-20 f3.5. And I said this wasn't a comparison video, and it's not, but that just comes from having used both lenses, and I suppose it would be obligatory to answer the question, which one would I rather have? I have to say I do miss that lens, but the extra portability of this lens, the smaller size of it, really did make a difference. I think the image quality was roughly the same. They're both very good. Distortion, both very low distortion. Obviously if you get it at the wrong angle you're going to get some curved lines there, but if you're level with the subject then you get no distortion. The VR is the tipping point for me. So my final answer is I would keep the Nikon, even with those functionality compromises that really do get in the way actually. But that VR is so incredibly good, and I didn't think I needed it on a wide angle lens. So thanks for watching, I hope this was useful to someone. If you'd like to check out my website, follow this link here somewhere. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, that's where I post almost daily. I try to post daily. That's going to be roughly here somewhere. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, it's up there. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another video.